So here it is again, one last time. Big drive step at the left, heel to toe, hands to the side, creating a lot of energy going down on that thrust here. Momentum back, thrust on the ground. Left foot has not struck the ground yet. Now when its stride hits the brake foot strides, up we go, creating that momentum. This is step one. This is our takeoff. This is not our loading arm swing phase, but this is creating the chain of events. Again, let's take a look. We're just looking at all the players, seeing similarities, what they do here. Right? So a single stride, left, double stride, a lot of G-force here, loading up on that right quad. Left foot has not struck the ground yet because the arms are on the side, creating that momentum. Now they strike, our hands are to the side out. Brake foot slightly curved, that way we're creating upward energy, upward energy, creating elliptical. Here it is again. Again, this is just the legs, the process of the legs first. Again, now with a very short approach, we have to shorten our approach up, but it's the same mechanics. Left, big stride, arms go back. Right, our hands are down. You can see that foot's still off the ground. Same mechanics, just shortened up the approach a little bit. Step close, foot has not hit the ground yet. Foot strike, now it's out in front of us. Our hands are out in front, propelling up. And it happens quick, right? The best athletes can put force into the ground and get force out of the ground quickly. This is just the drives phase. This is just the initiation. This is just the legs. We're not talking about the loading phase or the acceleration phase yet. So everything else she's doing with her upper body, hitting wise, mechanics wise, that's coming next. But we have to follow this first process step. Again, here we go. Left, right, left. Arms are down, loading up on that right quad. Foot strikes, arms are forward. And then we jump upward and go. Here we go again. Left, big stride, momentum, our arms are to the ground. To the side, we're creating that G-force into that right leg. Brake step. Once our foot hits with the brake, our arms are straight in front of us, creates upward momentum. Again, even on a tip, it's the same thing. Our process has to be the same no matter if we hit it or not. It's step close, feet, arms to the side, generating force, putting on the ground. Now we tip, but that's different. That's a whole other upper body thing, but our jump is the same. See, this process up to there is the same. After this, that turns into the loading phase. So step close, this is the jumping acceleration phase of our jump. This is the drive phase. There. Let's go back to this rally. Let's notice all their hitting approach, the same thing, okay? Full speed. Again here, step. Again, step. Again, now she had to pause a little bit because of those inside sets, so she had to take this little hop step just to get her body aligned right. Because the set was different, she had to line her body a little bit different there. So, and you can even see her face right here. You can see her like, eh. Because that had a little. She wasn't in perfect rhythm. She had to do a little bit of a hop step here to get out of rhythm. She fell backwards and it hit the tape. So she was like, whew. You can see, it's funny, just her eye expression right here. All right, so we're talking a little bit about the leg muscles here and a little bit going over just what's activating if you don't know anything about muscle activity and stuff. So we're going to take away the muscles and use our bones. So when we talk about just our bones, that's what we're talking about, the technique where our bones are lining up. So we're really lining up those hips and those shoulders and all the quads and everything that looks like, how I said, left, right, all that is with the bones lining up like a stick figure almost. So we want that stick figure to be lined up. That's gonna layer on the muscles and activate the certain muscle groups. So we talk about the hamstrings. These are the two hamstrings connecting into the knee. Up here, both hamstrings here. We want to really grab those. Those are grabbing muscles. You can think of kind of like your fingers making a claw and grabbing the ground. So when we do that step close motion, we're really grabbing those. And you can see it's going to really grab our femoruses, which are our biggest bones in our body, right? So it's really propelling the upper leg. Now here, what I talked about with the soleus muscles, you're going to see these are the gastrocnemiuses right here. Here's the big calf muscles, but we're talking about the soleus muscles. So we're going to strip away a little bit here, and the soleus muscles are in here. These are the really long connectors that are connecting your ankle and your calf here, but they run all the way up on the side. They go underneath your gastrocnemius, so they actually run up the whole inside part of your leg. So they're really important for this whole bone here. And right here you can see the gastroc starting, but the soleus is here. Right here are these big long muscles that are working to propel our feet and connect our knees. So then our gastrocs connect at the end. So again, then we have our rectus femoris, our big quad muscles engaged here. You can see all these different bands. You see how these different bands come in and they all wrap around here. There's like 6 different muscle groupings that wrap around the knee. So we want to line those all up so that it can wrap around and contract at the same time. You can see all the different layers. There's the initial one underneath where it's starting, just moving back and forth the bone. And then we're filling out all the different muscle groups that fill on top of it. So again, the ab stabilizers are all engaged. These are all the back muscles. You can see just the layers that need to be activated as we go through this process. Our glutes, of course, our back glutes. This is what's right in here is what's really propelling us, and then our gluteuses are really contracting and driving our back and our leg up here. Now the back stabilizers here are really important to keeping that function straight up and down so our back doesn't fall. And we want to really make sure right here, this is a double arm lift. So when we double arm lift, it's really getting into this area here. These muscles here are really stretching and shortening, which are contracting and then propelling our arms forward more. So when we go back, you can see how the scap or arm or shoulder blade here works. And you can really see that we want to move this whole muscle group, bone group. This is our scapular. And you can see how it's connected directly into our ball and socket joint of our shoulder blade here. So our ball and socket joint, we want to rotate this thing back so this whole scap can move and get some momentum. So that's what our double arm lift does for us. So again, right, this ball and socket, we pendulum swing back with our double arm lift. It's starting to rotate these muscles that are connected to it. You can see these are the rotator cuff muscles here. And then the deltoid covers on top, which is the shoulder muscle. And then finally the trapeziuses here cover everything and contract again to lift us up. If you raise your shoulders up, just like raise your neck up, you're going to see that all the muscles that are lifting that up here. So these are very important to contract when we're jumping upward, because then it's raising our body up. So here again, so here's our deltoid. So we're going to, when we swing back with this, it's shortening. And when our double arm lift is back the most, it's really elongated this here and create a lot of energy into our arms to whiplash back forward. As you can see here, this muscle right here is going back again and then going forward. So that's part of our double arm lift. And you can see how directly correlated this deltoid muscle is to moving this shoulder joint. You can see how big of a covering that is, how important that is. It covers the entire thing. Here's our connecting tissue that's connecting our shoulder, our bicep tendon from our pec into there, but you can see how important mobilizing this joint is. You can see without the muscles, but right again, we want these muscles to line up perfectly, and that deltoid shoulder is really important in that process. Again, we want to line up the bones into a great alignment. This is when we talk about technique and angles. We want to use the bones. We want to use those bones and keep that balance good so our muscles can be utilized efficiently. If our bones are in a compromising position, or if too much weight is distributed in one direction, it's not going to be efficient for our muscles to generate our force. So our bones are very heavy, and that way we're keeping our bones in alignment. So here's a picture of Jibo. I'm going to talk a little bit about that 3-step approach, right? The 3 to 4 steps approach, which is very common. You can take a 50-foot approach. It doesn't matter. All those first 47 steps, 40 whatever steps, are leading up to that 3-step approach drive, right? I said 99% of your energy is comprised of that 3-step approach. So here's Jibo hitting, and he's passing way back here. He's already gotten way back here to dig, and he's going to hit this pipe. But you're going to see a lot of steps. You're going to see a lot of his steps getting to the same kind of pace, and then he gets into that 3-step approach. Okay, so I found this example. I really like this example to show people that no matter how many steps you can take a 10-step approach, you can take a 15-step approach. It's the last 3-step approach that really matters. The 3 at the end is what creates the energy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so you can see it's all the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But then it's step close. But then it's here. Now it looks normal, right? So here we are, back at our base, big drive step. Arms go back. Force in the ground again. Break step hits. Our arms are forward. So again, arms to the side, arms are down right before this hits. Our force is down. And now our arms are to the side. Now our loading phase has begun. But again, this is a great example of when people say, how many steps should I take? Well, you only really need a 3-step approach. You have to take obviously more steps if the ball is back farther and you're in a different approach and you're way back here, so you dig. You have to take more steps, but those steps are pretty similar footwork. It's just kind of walking a little bit in the park, skipping forward, keeping the same rhythm. And then the last three. So again, so if someone says how many steps should I take, the really important are the last three steps. You can take a 50-step approach, but it looks like, if a 50-step approach looks like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, the last 1, 2, 3. So it's all that matters is the last three. Again, last time here. Step close. Again, step close, step close, step close, drive step, lots of force going forward. So here again, this is kind of an interesting play by Giba here. With Brazil, whenever Brazil does a triple block over here, they triple block on the outside. You can see their outside hitter, Dante, who's front row, is here. Giba goes from middle back. The ball is dug here by the setter. Sergio, the libero, will set an A ball to spread out the floor. So he'll either set Andre, the opposite, Andre Nascimento. Either set the opposite here, or he'll set Giba on a back row A ball coming here. Because Dante it's too hard for him to get outside and hit. So we have the libero setting either back or outside. But now Giba, the middle back, they run Giba on this A. And I like to see it because he really does he just looks really cool doing it. He's got a really good double arm lift, really big leg drive, and he always hits extreme roundhouse, which we're gonna go over in the loading phase, but I like the feet. Look how long of a stride is. He is such a textbook athlete, volleyball player. Left, right. Here goes left, big stride. Look how long of a stride that is. Both feet off the ground. Back up. Feet to the side, feet strike. And then he always does a big relaxed roundhouse. That arm is so relaxed and loose. We're not going to get ahead of ourselves here, but it's the step, it's the feet. Step close. Big drive. He generates so much energy. He creates so much force right there. Again, the process is the same no matter what. Men, women, same thing. So left, right, left, hands are down to the side right there. Once the left foot strikes, the hands are to the side, straight ahead. Here it is one more time. Again here, even on his serve, so left, right, left. So you can see both feet are off the ground. He's jumping off of that left foot. Nice double arm lift. Leg strikes. Right before leg strike, arms to the side. On leg strike. Now our arms to the side here, you can see in this other angle. So our arms to the front on double arm, on our left leg strike. Left, right, left, strike. Again, here you can barely see with the legs here. Let's look at the outside hitter here. She's not getting the ball, but it still looks like that, right? It still looks left, big stride. Everybody's in unison. Like all the hitters, all three of them are in unison here. hitter, hitter, hitter. We're all in the same rhythm pattern. So outside hitter, left, we're off the ground. Again, arms are to the side before that left leg strikes. Leg strikes, arms naturally just kind of come up, but she doesn't jump. Boscovich, a left-hander here now. Big right. I love the double armless. She gets her arms so loose back, just naturally. Again, strikes, loads quickly. Good dig. And let's look at Gabby right here from Brazil. Let's look at Gabby, the female Jiba. So she's taking a couple steps just to get her balance, get the foot. But like we said, we're on the freeway, right? This is we're loading up that right foot. The first couple steps are just to get us in the right position. So she's kind of seeing this really far high ball, and she's loading up on her right, left to get into good position. So right, left, now she's in our left. Now when you're on your left drive step, this is when you're hitting the gas, right? This is when our engines are taking off. This is when we're accelerating. Drive step. Arms are to the side. Left leg hasn't hit the ground yet. She's snapping, legs to the side. Arms are out. So here, left brake foot, arms forward. And I call her the female Jiba because she moves just like Jiba, and she has this roundhouse hit where she brings her loading phase way down also, so. Here's Dante from Brazil here. Again, top player, same mechanics. Passes has to rush, even though he's going inside out. So we're going to talk a little bit about our line of approach. So sometimes when we go outside in for outside the court, then inside, it's the same, but here we have to pass and go inside out. It's the same footwork though. Our feet might end up a little bit different at the end, but our approach and the way we're taking off is the same. So right step, crossover, right step, walking step, and then here, this left foot here is the same. This left foot drive step is exactly the same as what it's always been for everybody else. Taking off, see both full feet are off the ground. You can see both feet off the ground. Arms are going back. A great heel to toe snap here with his right foot. Heel to toe. Again, force being generated down just like we did with our sidearms onto our right quad. Again. And then we're going to see that left leg snap as a brace, as a brake, when our arms are going to go forward at the same time. So we can guess, right? What's going to happen? Left foot strike, arms forward. There you go. Left leg strike, arms forward. Left strike at the same time up. Left arm strike up. Here's getting full motion, right, left, right, left. Here's again, he gets outside, which I love. He gets a really like an inside set, which is, he gets it probably, I think honestly, one of the best I've seen anybody ever do because of that really big left stride drive. He waits outside the court. He doesn't give it away too early. He gets outside the court and then takes that left stride from outside the court. But it's a huge step forward. So we got left, both feet off the ground, Right, his arms are loading down. Strike, on brake strike, his arms G-force have going straight, so left brake, arms forward. This is the momentum. And you can see that right is really right to toe. The right foot right here is really heel to toe. And then that left foot's kind of a break. It's a jab break. You can see with everybody. It's not really heel to toe that much. It's a jab break. Jabs. So heel to toe, jab, up. Again, men and women, you can see extremely the same. Here he is again. This is not a replay. This is a different play. Left, right, left. Again, arms to the side on the G-force, up. There. Left, there. Left brake step, arms forward. Right step, arms to the side. Left step, arms forward. And after that, of course, is the loading phase and then the acceleration phase. On a pipe, same thing. He's now moved himself in position. His bones are lined up very well, very forward, very symmetric. His bones have lined up, not crossing his legs, so that way he can load up on those quads. Again, arms to the side, very narrow. You can see how narrow those side arms are. Right, heel to toe, you can see the heel, you can see the toe being up. Toe down, strike going up. Here he is again. All right, now we have Wilfredo Leon here. Leon was a superstar still. He's only 26 years old. He started playing for Cuba when he was 14, literally. And he is basically regarded as the best player in the world right now, gets paid over $1 million, blah, 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 blah. He got Champions League MVP, all these kind of stuff. He's really young, but he's a superstar from a very young. What makes him pretty unique is that he has a really, really, really short step close cycle. He doesn't take a very long approach, but the 3 steps are the same. He doesn't compromise those 3 steps at the end. It's just basically only a 3-step approach. So we're gonna look at him hit. Here he is right here. You can see he's walking up and then he loads up. He lowers the center of gravity pretty well. And it's left, up, and attack. So he is really minimizing his approach. There he is again here on the outside. So he's got kind of a, I wouldn't say it's unique, but it's very refined and very compact. Left, attack. Again, that nice here left, he loads up on that left to push off. Step close, same thing, his arms to the side. His arms are up, just like everybody else. No difference when it comes to the 3-step approach. Now his loading phase and his initiation and his acceleration phase are a little bit different, but the initial step close phase for everybody, of course, is the same, but he shortens up his approach. As you can see, he generates an enormous amount of energy in just those 3 steps. You can see he absolutely crushes this ball. So here's a middle, doing the same thing. His left foot initiation, you can see from this angle, I like this angle because it's a forward view. His foot coming, heel really up there. You can see that heel really up. It's good to see from this view here. So he's pushing off with his toe, activating the soleus, getting that leg extended, grabbing the, so when you grab your heel like this, it's really grabbing the back hamstring and it's really pulling the hamstring. So you put your heel in the ground like this, your hamstring's really getting activated. Again, arms are down, putting maximum G-force on this right leg. This leg is not hit yet. Now it's hit. So now the brake is on, and again, look where our arms are. Yep, straight ahead, just like everybody else. So again, the process looks just the same as everybody else. Left, right, left. Initial force down, contact on the brake, arms to the side. A good knee flexion bend, and then we're finishing with our quad to our knee, to our soleuses, to our toes, utilizing the whole leg takeoff. All right, here's a really young Ivan Milkovic, which is pretty funny. I found a video of him as a really young kid, and he has an interesting step close, but more or less, it's his double arm lift was really far off, so his timing was kind of different. He had a very, very circular double arm lift, so I'm going to show you the difference between a circular arm lift and a pendulum arm lift, and why it's a little bit more efficient to do a pendulum just back and forth, more traditional. That's why people do it, because you can kind of get your rhythm in faster, and you can create back and forward energy faster. So here he is as a 16-year-old kid. You can see he was a very skinny, underdeveloped 16-year-old who turned into a 19-year-old 3 years later, and 21 years old won the Olympic gold medal. So this video kind of opened my eyes a little bit to kind of things. I always liked him as a player. He's always one of my favorite players. But this video really got to see how much work that he put in, because he's 16 years old in this video. He's about 6'5", 6'6", 16-year-old. He turns into 6'9", but still, look at the technique here. He had to put a lot of work in. Left. And this is what I'm talking about, the double arm lift here. You see how far out these arms go? And then they come around. They go out. So they're literally going like a Y. This is called a circular arm swing. And they come around and then back forward. And you can see how close his feet are. This is a big mistake here too. His feet are really close together, so he's not getting a lot of hip activation in front. And this stride isn't super big here. But you can still see his feet are both off the ground. Still the mechanics are getting there. And the feet are really close together. So there's no hip turn. Still a decent amount of jump though. I mean, we're talking about literally one of the best players of all time here. This kid right here. And you're gonna see him evolve very quickly in the next couple video clips. So again, a really interesting kind of double arm lift here. Kind of wastes a lot of time. Not the most efficient. But still, striking the ground on the bottom. And he strikes too early with his left foot. So he's striking too early, his arms aren't forward, so he kind of loses a lot of that forward momentum jump. And that's when his arm gets brought up really quick to the outside, and he doesn't get a lot of force on these balls. You're going to see very quickly how he translates this and fixes this later in his life here. So he goes from here. He's literally 16 years old here. And in the next video, we fast forward a couple years. Here's him on the right side here, playing opposite in the Olympics. He becomes an absolute athletic monster. And he takes also an inside kind of out approach. He doesn't really get out to the court much. He does an inside out. So he comes in here, does an inside to out, which is good, which is fine. You can do it outside in. It's what's comfortable with you, but still the mechanics are the same. So left. He still does this kind of circular a little bit, but do you see how much more refined that is? Left, right, left. Now his foot's in front and striking at the same time his arms are forward. So left, heel to toe on the right. Arms are down, a lot of G-forces here. You can see all this G-force being created. Left arm strikes. Quickly, he's right there. And he gets that arm pretty, not so high, but out in front, turns it. Again, left, right, left. He's a big three-step guy, too. He's like Leon. He doesn't take a huge approach. He's really a short approach guy. He creates all that energy in just a left, right, left. Nice little shot there. But left, right, left. All the energy is in this three-step approach. Again, left, right, left. Again, left, to the side, right, left, to the side. And it's quick. Once he brings it, once we're from here to here, those arms go quick. Here he rips him. Rips him up. Creating that force down and up quickly. Best athletes, again, create force down and up quick. Inside out approach, step close, quick ball. Left, right, left. Boom. Again, he gets a little bit more outside the court this time. You can see him way outside the court to separate, but same thing. Left, right, left. Boom. Left. Big initiation. Arms are G-force down. You go from here, that left foot hasn't struck yet. Now it's stricken, and his arms are out in front. And you can see the separation in the legs too. It's not so close. Remember his initial videos when he was a young kid, his feet were really close together. Now you can see a good spacing. So the bones have lined up a little bit better. So that way you can grab the inside legs muscles, the quad muscles. When your legs are so close together, it's hard to grab all those muscle groups. So he's corrected a lot of that. And he's corrected his double arm lift. You can see it's just back and forth. And he's corrected his drive step and his brake step. See Clay Stanley on his serve. So we got the server here, Clay Stanley, one of the best servers. He does a forced approach, left, right, left, right. So same thing here. Drive step, heel to toe. You can see that right heel to toe. G forces being lifted, straight down everything. Left foot has not hit the ground yet. Left foot strikes there. His hands are side. There, left foot strike here. So brake step up. Brake step. Brake step, and then his loading phase that's a whole other video. That's the next video. So Riley Salmon, same thing, left, right, left step. Even this with a little hop. Wasley right here from Poland. He kind of tosses it and does this little hop. That's just for his tossing. That's just to get some rhythm. But now it's left, right, left. It's still that. If you go from here, it's still the same. Left, left, right, left. Arms to the side. Now brake foot hits again. Dante from the front. Right, left, right, left. There. Brake foot up. Brake foot up. Wasley again, same thing. Gustavo, big step close. Left, right, left. Same thing here. Arms are down right before that brake step, arms are there. Force is being pushed into the ground. Force up. Murillo, his brother here. Left. Force step here. Arms to the side on the right load. Left contact, his arms are up. Left contact, arms are up. Same exact thing. Loading, everything's on that right leg. Now left leg transfer, arms forward. Read pretty, same thing. Here we go, Milkovich again. Milkovich again, big three-step guy. Big inside out, 3 steps. Generates all that force in a very short window. Him and Leon both just generate a lot of force quickly. You can see this one, he only takes almost 2 steps only. He gets kind of off balanced. Just right, left. Just thunders this ball. So much energy going into this ball. He's just pushing. He goes from so subtle, so relaxed here. Look how relaxed this is. Into such devastation. So relaxed into such power. Again, you have Wallace. He's kind of the anomaly of players, but again, he takes a big left, right, left. He has an interesting kind of thing with his feet. He jumps together like this. He's kind of the exception of the rule. He's a very interesting player, but again, arms to the side, force up, loading on that leg. As you can see right here, he hits just these extreme angles. He's a very strange player, but it's interesting to note that he still takes this approach, left, right, left there, and then he kind of hits these interesting shots. Again, he's like kind of an anomaly, but still takes off with his approach. Here we go, Leon again here, hitting a pipe. So just even from a pipe, you can see how little approach he takes, left, and then just thunders. So again, so from the front view, I'm trying to get every angle here. We got the back view, side views, angles, front view. Takes off, it's his first step left. He's loading up. He's driving on his drive step. The arms are flowing backwards, nice and smooth. The arms come down to the side. G-forces, our maximum G-forces are applied here. And then the arms to the side when he makes that foot brake contact. And then from here on, that's when the loading cycle starts. And that's, of course, your arm swing and your hitting and your mechanics of your actual arm swing. But this is still the legs, because without the legs, we have nothing. And we're getting a very good posture here. Our head isn't tilted to the side. All our body posture is very strong, very aerodynamic. Three steps, 1, 2, 3, a lot of force really quick. So again, here's that first initial video of Jiba. Let's take a look. Left, big step close, energy going forward. Again, it's interesting to see the same video after you've just watched 2 hours and see now all the force that people are generating here. Here you go, Matt Anderson again. Again, the process of this, right? Left, right here. This is when we drive. Left, right, left. To the side. Our brake. Now arms to the side. And now our jump's done. A lot of forward momentum here. Perfect. All right, so we're going over a lot of different things here, and this is just the lower half of your body. So this is phase 1, initiation with your steps. You really want to get that drive step going, that double arm lift pendulum nice and smooth, putting a lot of heel to toe energy going. You want that stride to be 2 stride lengths on that left push off with both feet slightly off the ground, so you're flying forward. And then striking on that right quad, lifting a lot of force and power down into the ground while your legs are swinging, while your arms are swinging to the side of you. Very fast. That left foot breaks and those arms are parallel now up to your side where the loading phase begins. So now we need to do this a lot, and we need to make this subconscious, because you can see all these players are so good at this, and it happens so naturally. So it takes a lot of practice and a lot of work to get this into your subconscious, so it's just a normal approach. This is your normal way of doing things. So, all right, so that's phase 1, where we're doing our approaches. Phase 2 next is into our loading phase, which gets into our attack and really preparing us to hit the volleyball. So, thank you.